Oh, again, it's Friday, so it's time for Tiff Picks. Number 4? Number 4. I think. I did... How many have I done of these? I did Montucky Cold Snack. That was a lose. I did Deschutes, and then I did Slayer. So this is number 4, and the first of the new year. Happy New Year. I hope your hangover isn't too bad. We'll see what mine's going to be like because I'm filming this in the past. So Austin's video on Wednesday was Paddle Brewing's double IPA. And so you've hopefully now seen his opinion on that. I personally really liked it, and I'm not an IPA person. So, so today I'm gonna go ahead and try their Pilsner, which I am really excited about. I went ahead and cut the pour from the beginning of the video because I figured out why I spilled last time and I spilled again this time is because I'm trying to pour with my left hand, which is my left hand is dumb. So I spilled again and I'm like, you know what? And then the foam went everywhere because I got distracted by the spilling. So it settled a little bit because I wanted to have a quick chat with Austin before I started filming this. I unfortunately was hoping to have him do a little review that I could cut into here, but I got greedy and I took all the beer with me. So I forgot to give him the Pilsner. So for now you're just getting my opinion on the Pilsner. So this is what it looks like. It's a nice yellow Pilsner-y color. It is a little cloudy, which you can probably see the shadow of my hand through the back of it, which is what I like to see in Pilsners and German beers. It had a really nice head. It's just settled a little bit, but it still retained a pretty good amount. And it's, you can see, I don't know if you can see all the bubblies, which I always like. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a go. I really like this beer. This reminds me a lot of the good German beers that I've had in the past 4 or 5 years. So I definitely really like it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, is it West? It's probably West. Which is a Glasgow brewery. It's brewed in Glasgow by a German lady who, the name of, the tagline is German beer with Scottish heart, or Scottish beer, I don't remember. It's something like that, but anyway, it's German Scottish. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of a lot of her line of German type beers, which is most of my experience with German beers, so that's good that this reminds me of that. I'm gonna do a reach and get the bottle here. It says 4.6% ABV, 25 IBUs. So if you watched Austin's video yesterday, you know that IBUs, what you can taste, goes about up to 100, and higher the number, the more bitter. So this is on the lower end, and I definitely would say that's correct. It doesn't taste bitter. So always good when it does what it says on the tin. I'll read the description for you. Our German-style Pilsner is a cold fermented lager which provides light, crisp flavors using all German ingredients. I would say it's light, it's crisp. It tastes like a German beer to me. It's not hoppy. There's a weird thing, and I think it might just be me with German beers, but the aftertaste of German beers to me always tastes like sweet corn, and I don't know why. It's just a thing that I've noticed. And I've mentioned it to a few other people, and they're like, oh no, it tastes like bananas to me. So it's just a weird thing that I have in an aftertaste of a German beer, and this one has that too, which is a signal to me that it's a German beer.
No, Tiffany's right. I don't really get the banana flavor. However, I don't taste the corn or anything like that she's getting out of it. But I've never tasted a banana flavor out of a Pilsner before, and that just might be my palate. I don't find it in there. But this beer doesn't have any off flavors at all. It is delicious, and it's saying a lot because these are probably the hardest beers to brew. Pilsners, lagers, but Pilsners in general are very hard to brew and not get those off flavors, because It's a bottom fermented beer using larger yeast that kind of sink to the bottom. They also brew at a lower temperature, which the yeast doesn't produce those sort of fruity esters you would get in, say, an American ale or anything like that. So it doesn't have a super complex flavor. It's got a very basic flavor where the ingredients that they put in that you want to taste, you taste, rather than a bunch of other complex flavors that come through. So it's everything. The water, the hops, and the malt is what you're tasting. And that's all you want to taste with one of these beers. You know you did it right if there are no flavors other than those that you put in. So props, man. Jim did a great job with this beer, and it is delicious. This is one of my favorites, honestly. One of my favorite Pilsners I've ever had, and it ranks probably above the Pilsners I've had from Freem, which, if you've had any Freem beers and you know anything about Freem, they are sticklers for their beer. They have a climate-controlled room where they age their special beers, and they're pretty anal about how they do everything. And not saying anything bad about them, but they have a much bigger facility and much more equipment than Jim does over at Paddle. So props, man. It's a good beer. Buy it. It's really good.
I really enjoy this. I'm definitely going to buy more of this. Just meaning he has more of it. I have another bottle in the fridge, so that's going to be what I'm going to have tomorrow for New Year's Eve. It's going to be that bottle. It's going to be one of my bottles. I would definitely sit in summer or the winter and drink this beer. This to me feels like a good barbecue beer. It's not like, I can see lots of bubble, but it doesn't feel really carbonated. It doesn't feel really heavy. It's enjoyable. It's an easy drinking. Like I could sit and drink this for quite a while. On a star ranking, I think this is gonna be my first 4.5. I don't know what I would give a 5. I think I'm being really like reservist with my ratings until I find that beer that I'm like, oh, like this is my holy grail of beers. So this one's pretty close to like what I would consider, like, for my palate, a pretty perfect beer. I could see having this with a burger, or I would eat a salad with this because I like to eat salads and drink beer at the same time. Gotta cut calories somewhere. So yeah, I would say it's in my top. It's in my top list. Definitely in my top of all the beers that I've had in 2020, which we'll be watching this in 2021. So I'm starting off the new year pretty good. This is quite the opposite to the first pick video that I did. And I am so delighted that this is how I get to end the year for our video series and start the new year. So Austin and I have some things coming down the pipeline for 2021 that we're talking about, and we really want to get going. We're going to do a few more of Jim's beers because I bought a lot. I bought 2 of everything he had, with the exception of the Kolsch, which I got a growler of, and we got a super special limited edition cider. And we're going to have a little extra person reviewing that with us, which I'm excited about. So stay tuned. If you can order from Paddle Brewing, I'm going to put the links to Jim's website down below. Go take a look at what he's got. If you're in the area, give him an order. Like, shop small, support small businesses. Like, I am all for doing as much of that as you possibly can, especially after the year that we have had this year. So go do the thing, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Friday, and Happy New Year.